Welcome to Volunteer Tracker. Today we're going to talk about how to search and find your volunteers and then how to communicate with them after you've done that. Your organization uses the Volunteer Tracker to allow volunteers to enter their information and indicate their interest areas and then allow the approval process to go through. So once you have a list of approved volunteers, you can always find them from the Volunteer Tracker. Now, when you log into the Volunteer Tracker, you will always be on this home screen. To get to your list of approved volunteers, you have two options. So this Volunteers tab is going to have a little drop-down menu, and you'll just select Approved Volunteers. And then alternatively, there's this handy quick link that will take us right to the Approved Volunteer page. All right, so this is your list of approved volunteers. You are probably going to have multiple pages of these. For our demo site, we only have 9 volunteers, so they're all on the first page. But you can see right here, we have tabs, so you can cycle through the different pages of volunteers if you've got multiple. Now, if we scroll down to the bottom, you're going to see there's a selection to view each page by 10, 25, 50, or 200 volunteers per page. And so when you have a lot of pages of volunteers, it can be a challenge to find what you're looking for. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute, but first I want to show you what the volunteer panel looks like. So each volunteer is going to have the option of including a profile photo, and then you will see their email, any locations that they are available to volunteer for. Now, as volunteer coordinator, you are only going to see the locations that you are the volunteer coordinator for. And then you're going to see their approval level. But this is just the collapsed version of the profile. So if I go up here, you're going to see a little menu for show details and hide details. If we go ahead and click show details, that is going to expand the profiles of all of the volunteers on this page. And now we can see the dates for submission and approval of their application, the names of any children and affiliations they may have, and then any of the activities that they have specified interest in volunteering for. Now, if you don't want to see this for all of the volunteers, I'm going to go ahead and click Hide Details. There's this little arrow right next to each of the volunteer panels. And so if we click it, it is just going to expand the profile of that specific volunteer, and it'll show all of the information that we just discussed. Now for the fun stuff. This is going to be helpful when you have a lot of volunteers to sort through. The top area of the volunteer tracker gives you the ability to search and filter so that you can locate your volunteers with ease. There is a counter on the left-hand side that indicates how many volunteers have met your criteria. When you first come to this page, the counter is going to show your total number of volunteers. Right now we're on a demo site, so we only have 9 volunteers. Now, let's say I want to search for a volunteer with the last name Smith. I'm just going to come over here to the last name contains bar, and I'll type that in. It's not case sensitive, so you can just type and go. And then I'm going to go up here to filter search and select. So that takes us down to 2 volunteers, as we can see over here in our volunteer counter. Now let's talk about how we might really use this in your application. I'm going to go ahead and hit clear. So now we're back to all 9 of our volunteers. So say we want to do a meeting with volunteers who might be interested in improving the look of the entrance to our school. One of the things that we can do is search based on the interest areas that the volunteers indicated that they might be interested in. So I'm going to go drop this activities bar down, and in this case, I'm going to go and choose gardening. So these activities are set by your organization, so if you'd like to add activities that might benefit you, you can contact your administrator of Volunteer Tracker. So I'll go ahead and click on gardening. And now I am going to hit filter search. And so now you can see that we have 7 volunteers that have indicated that they would be interested in gardening. Now I am going to go ahead and hit clear one more time and show you a little bit more about this. Say that we want to do a meeting with volunteers who are interested in band events at North High School. The great thing about this search bar is that it's not an this or this. It's a this and this. So we can use multiple search terms to get the information that we need. So we want volunteers at North High School. So we'll go ahead and go to location and select North High School. This is going to make sure that anybody who pops up has indicated that they are interested in volunteering at events at this location. Now, say we want a band event. We can go up to this search bar right here, and we can just type in band. Then we'll go ahead and hit filter search. So this is going to pull up all volunteers who are interested in volunteering for band events at North High School. And you can see that this gives us 6 volunteers. So let's go ahead and show the details for these. So if we look, this one, band boosters, band concessions, band special events. The next one, band boosters and band concessions. Now, the great thing about Volunteer Tracker is that I can go ahead and reach out to all of these volunteers that I have located about this meeting for band events. And so if I go up here to email filtered list, this then allows me to send each of my 6 volunteers an email letting them know that we're going to have this meeting about band events. Hopefully this helps you see how this tool can really help with recruiting additional volunteers and communicating with your active volunteers about areas that interest them. Really encourage them to get involved in what you're doing.
Okay, so I've got one last super fun thing to show you guys. So Volunteer Tracker does have mobile compatibility. So if you are not near a laptop, you can look at the website on your smartphone or tablet. Now, to get to the volunteers page, we can just go to this quick link one more time. Or up here in this top right-hand corner, you're going to see 3 bars. If you click on that, the main menu will drop down, and then we can just go to Volunteers and select Approved Volunteers. And so that's going to bring us right here to the approved volunteer search page. So it's going to look a little different. Your search and filter list is going to be collapsed just so that you can see more volunteers on the page. If we go over to this arrow on the right side of your screen, we can click it down and you will see we still have all of the filter options that we do in the desktop version. You can also see the volunteer tabs look a little different. They're a little more card-shaped, a little more condensed, and once again, that's just so that we can fit more in your viewing area than if we had the desktop version. And it'll be the same if we expand it. It's going to have all of the same information, just condensed.
So that was our tip for the Volunteer Tracker. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.